This is the second set of instructions for term 2 week 1. For this part, second part, we're going to look at earthquakes and some of its effects. Earthquakes are basically caused by your tectonic movement. So when there's sudden movements of the tectonic plates at all form of margins, as long as there's some form of slippage, you will experience earthquakes on the crustal plate where we exist. Here are some very important earthquake terms that you need to learn how to use within your answers. When we're looking at the energy that's released by the earthquakes, we refer to them as seismic waves. The focus is the point in the crustal plate where these seismic energy originates from. It is normally within the crustal plate. The epicenter is the point above the focus on Earth's surface where it is visible to us. Now, most of the energy released tends to travel along the surface of the Earth. Aftershocks refer to subsequent smaller earthquakes that follow the major earthquakes. Now, this term "smaller" is a general phenomena that's observed. However, there are times where your aftershocks may be as powerful as the original earthquakes. Aftershocks need not be within a time frame of days. It can be within even months after the initial earthquake. When we look at the impact of an earthquake, right, one of the very important terms to look at is the depth of focus. So there are two types of depth of focus that we are looking at. One is deep focus earthquakes and the other one is shallow focus earthquakes. Now, to qualify as a deep focus earthquake, generally the earthquake's focus has to be 70 to about 700 kilometers below the surface of the Earth. As a result of this, the relatively large distance where the seismic waves need to travel through, the impact on land tends to be a bit smaller. Below the surface can also be in between the oceanic plates. It need not always be on the continental plates. For shallow focus earthquakes, we are looking at anything that's within 70 kilometers and above in the crustal plate. So as a result of it being nearer, the seismic wave reach the surface much faster and with more ferocity and more energy. So when you have a shallow focus earthquake, you tend to have a larger impact on the land and on humanity that lives on top of it. This is the Richter scale obtained from your textbook. It runs from 0 to regularly now it's about 8. However, it's 8 and up. There are cases where earthquakes have been recorded to be slightly above 8. The earthquake effects on the right hand side correspond to the reading on the Richter scale on the left hand side. So take some time, take a good look at this scale, as it is rather important, as it will give you an awareness of what it is. Side note, for movement upwards of 1 point on the scale, the amount of impact energy release is actually double. So from 0 to 1 is double the impact, 1 to 2 is double the impact. Henceforth, the difference between a 2 and a 7 is not an arithmetic increase, but rather is an exponential increase. So to end off this very short second part, I would like to bring you back to a diagram that we drew much earlier on convergence of an oceanic plate and a continental plate. So when you have convergence like this, there's a lot of slippage, there's a lot of movement, there's subduction, and as a result, it is only fair that when you see continental and oceanic plate movement like this, when there is slippage, there will be earthquakes that are released on the continental side as well. Now, on the oceanic plate itself, it is not that there will never be earthquakes there. It is just that having nothing built on the oceanic plate, the effect that's felt on mankind is not as observable. However, if you do have major earthquakes on the oceanic plates, one side effect is you might trigger tsunamis, which we will definitely feel.